Oregon Student Loan Ombuds.
And what is an Umbud?
Yeah, basically what that term means is that I help to resolve conflicts or issues between student loan servicers and borrowers.
And what are some of the issues that you're currently seeing with these student loans?
The most common issues I hear about are in regards to income-driven repayment, public service loan forgiveness, just these federal loan programs that are available. A lot of times people have trouble accessing them. So that's one of the main things that I try to resolve conflicts on. The other big issue is just things like a payment was sent, but it wasn't applied to my account, or I paid off my loans, but the credit bureaus weren't updated. So there's a pretty big range, but yeah, just things that, the servicer and borrower aren't always seeing eye to eye.
What is causing students to be unable to access some of this information or these features?
So it's a few things. One, the way the student loan system is set up is already very complex. There's a servicer involved, the Department of Education, sometimes another entity, and there are different loan types, different programs available based on loan type. So it's very complicated to begin with. And then add on top of that, over the last 5 years, the repayment plans, types of forgiveness available, implications of loan types have all shifted more than once. They're continuing to shift.
What in what ways, or can you tell me an example of a way you would help a borrower through these hurdles?
Yeah. So a good example is if someone called and said, um, I sent a payment to my servicer, and right after I sent it, my loans were transferred to a new servicer. I could take a written complaint from that borrower. I would send it to both servicers, and I would say, let's track down this payment the borrower sent. Where is it? How do we get it applied? That's a kind of example of a way I might help resolve an issue.
Ultimately, why are these changes happening?
Wow, that's a big question. Over the last years, this issue has become politicized. And so a lot of it has to do with the different administrations in office. It has to do with lawsuits. So there's a lot of different moving pieces. But I would say in general, it has to do with the fact that it's become this kind of hot political issue in Washington.
Do you think that there will be a shift and things will kind of be more accessible and transparent for borrowers at some point?
It's hard to say for sure. The bill that was recently passed at the federal level should have a big impact on student loans overall. That was still pretty new, so it's not exactly clear what that impact will be, but it will be pretty significant. At the same time, the Department of Education currently has much fewer staff than they usually have. A lot were laid off. So there's kind of, different things at play, and it's not entirely clear how it will work out.
Any advice for these students, some of the borrowers who are kind of facing the things that you're discussing?
Yeah, my recommendation is always that people start by logging into studentaid.gov. That's where you will see what repayment plans are currently available, what type of loan types you have. And I really believe knowledge is power, that if you're aware of your exact situation, that's going to kind of set you up best for whatever might come in the future.
Awesome. Anything I've missed that you think our viewers need to know about this?
I always just like to mention scam prevention. Whenever there are changes, there are always people out there trying to take advantage of borrowers, of Oregonians. So I just really recommend that if somebody contacts you about collecting on your student loans, that you make sure that it's a legitimate servicer. You can check a license on our site. Yeah, so I just really recommend to make sure that you're working with a legitimate provider.